Hello, this is Carlos, and I'm going to read you a little bit about the Maya calendar day today. It is 13 Crocodile. This is a very magical day because it's the end of one thing and the beginning of another. And I don't talk about regular astrology that much, but eclipses are pretty important. We had a major eclipse. It was only a partial solar eclipse, but it hit in Pisces, I guess. I thought we were in Aries already.
Pisces into Aries, I think.
So
Sammy could tell us more.
I'm not that keen on Western astrology all the time, but eclipses are extremely important for the Mayan calendar. So the day that this eclipse hits is a 13 crocodile, extremely potent energy there. The crocodile is like an inipi, right? That you crawl in and you do the fire stones, heated stones, and you pour water on them and it steams up, and it's a beautiful experience if you can handle it. Some people try it and are not ready for it and they freak out and have to get out. But that's okay. I had to get out the first time.
Let's go.
So then the number 13 is the grandfather, grandmother energies. All the other numbers are major joints, starting with the right ankle, left ankle, right knee, right hip, left hip. And the wrists is 7, 8, elbows 9, 10, shoulders 11, 12, and the neck is 13. So it symbolizes the grandfather, grandmother energies. So I was talking yesterday about a little trip I had taken to Cuatrocienegas with my friend Sal. That was 12 Ahau day, and that was a wonderful day, but we stayed up all night on the top of this mountain with some peyote, and we went up to this other place. We drove Sierra San Marcos y Pinos was like another planet. There's a great view across the Valle de Cuatrocienegas, and we could see reflections from the pozos below. We went down, and Sal and I got a key to a ranch from Doña Berta Laura Gaza Pecan Grove house, and set up once more into the desert on the other side of this mountain range. It was crazy drive down dirt roads. We prayed we'd be able to find our way back through. There was an ancient mud brick house and horse stable with some horses out there. And the guy was taking care of some horses, and he showed us where the campsite was, where there was a mojito of water coming out, fresh water coming out of the mountain. And we set up our camp and enjoyed some pomegranate liqueur. Now, there's a part that I did not write in my book about this story, and it's actually one of the most important things that happened in my life as far as spirituality. It led to a lot of other things. My peak spiritual experience was at Canyon de Shade, Arizona. That was in 2016. This is in 2003. So what happened is, before we went on this trip, I had a dream about some rocks that were like shaped into like a pair of scissors. And in that dream, it's always a good prophetic dream when I dream about the peyote medicine. And there was like a school, and there was peyote growing in the little what do they call planters in front of the school. So that was kind of neat in the dream. And this day in real life, we were doing this camping experience. We're in this beautiful mountain. You can see over the beautiful big valley and the mountain ranges on the other side. And I saw in the distance some white rocks. And I thought, well, that's interesting. But we set up camp and got ready, and then finally it was getting late, and I was like, I'm gonna go. Told my buddy Sal, I'm gonna go check out these rocks over here. So I walked on over. I get there, and somebody had laid out a bunch of white stones about yay big in a big X pattern. And I was like, wow, this is like X marks the spot. There's something here. And so I called Sal over, yelled at him, say, Cal, come here, check this out. And he walks over, and oh, it's cool. And there was no other white rocks. That was the interesting thing about it. It was big dolomite rocks. There is a dolomite mine, but on the other side of this mountain in Cuatrocienegas along the highway, you can see when you're driving up away from there. So let me take a sip of coffee. So this is one of the most important days in my life, nights at least. We hear a lot about portal energies and kind of thinking about scientifically the speed of light or whatever, astral projection. There's a lot of these things that were involved, and it did help that I had a little bit of peyote. And I took my blanket, I went to the camp, grabbed my blanket and some incense, and ate some more peyote, and laid my blanket down in the middle of this X. And it was very, very magical. Oh, this part of the story I almost forgot. While Sal and I were standing at this X, the moon began to rise over the mountains. And the valley, there was like a line of moonlight coming across the valley. And when it got to us at the X, we could feel that the light got brighter. So we could see when it hit it. And then we looked, and another wave of moonlight came across the valley. And the same thing, it hit us. It got lighter, and we really, really thought that was an amazing experience. And we could see the moon coming up over the mountains. And I guess it's because of the way the mountain range was shaped and the shadows of the mountain range as the moon came up that produced this amazing waves of light that hit us. And so that was amazing. So then I was laying there, and all the light in the universe began pouring into me at this X right there, and it looked like a wormhole, like you kind of see and they try to do in the movies where things are coming at you and you're going through this. You can imagine the depiction of that, and it was everything. I could see all the faces of people I've known or not known, and places I've been or like maybe hadn't been yet. And everything, all this light was pouring into me. And it just kept getting faster and faster. That's Ashtar. And
He got faster and faster
that's
just
like
now.
part. So finally, there's this phenomenon called a tube torus, Torus. And so it's like this donut shape of energy vortex. So that I felt like that was what I was in, this torus of light, and all the stars and everything started pouring in also, and it just got faster and faster, and this light, and finally I went through myself, and like all this, the reality had turned around in this field of light energy that I was at. And I woke up and snapped out. It was morning, the sun was coming out. Oh, that was interesting. So my life has not been the same. I've not been part of the spiritual, or excuse me, material existence any longer. It was purely spiritual now, I could tell. And I hope that someday everybody finds that. Am I supposed to read something?
Well, we usually read the calendar.
Well, I'm telling you about the calendar.
I know you are, which is fascinating.
This is more important. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a magical day, okay? It's an initiation and an ending transcendence at the same time. And this is what I went through. I went through this portal. So this portal energy is still here for me this many years later, if not stronger. And we're getting the sound effects. Thank you very much. So, I mean, I could read to you about the day on the calendar, somebody else's interpretation of it. Very strong day, closeness to an unseen world, a day of divination, readings or dreams. It may be the most outstanding. This is what I'm talking about. Somebody else caught on to it.
Global meditation last night, and they talked about a portal. This is a very thin veiled time, and portals are likely. They are starting to recognize those in the pyramids.
Our psychic antenna are up, picking up everything around us. Today, this is connected not just with our world, but also the unseen. Include our ancestors in the spirit world, other realms within nature, devas. Information may be rather overwhelming. This is what I experienced out there. Turned up to 11. It was turned up to 13. Turned it even further. Some remarkable information. Well, it's not about information.
It's about experience.
It's a dream and experience of the light energy.
The light.
The vibration of the light is so fast. It's probably even more now. Don't watch the news, okay? Any kind of media today. Just try to avoid it if you can. Some people are addicted into this thing, or if you find yourself sucked into a crowd that you might not normally associate with. It's a day to be aware of your psychic connection with the collective consciousness. We might have a collective meeting about our art collective. Disconnect from the media, disconnect from social media, even though you have to be on social media to hear this.
I know.
That's always a contradiction, right? You're not supposed to do these things, but that's
Just
the
don't
only
get
way
sucked in
to communicate. Don't get sucked
to
into it.
everything and every
Gossip especially is so stupid.
mainstream media or even alternative can
Perhaps
be
instead
damaging.
connect with the collective of the ancestors of spirit.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a very, very potent day.
You usually read from that? It's a good one.
Well, that was yesterday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Today's today.
Yes. It's fascinating.
Yes. So we're okay. Well,
Well, let me ask you what changed after that experience. You said
what changed after
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I am not part of the 3D matrix reality. That was it chewed me up and spit me out into the spirit world. Now, okay. So even before that, for a long time, I've been having prophetic dreams, experiences, and attending ceremonies, and I had been collecting the crystals and getting in touch with the earth light from the earth in the crystals. Those are, the earth isn't perpetually vibrating and spinning, and the crystals are part of the earth, and so they are gathering that, keeping that information, whatever subtle vibration it's always getting. So that's why crystals are very powerful for helping you get in touch with your ancestor spirits and maybe even seeing into the future.
Well, remember I said this morning, oh, you must be one of the first indigo child. And maybe crystalline. Uh-oh. Sneeze. Ay, ay. And I mean, really, I'm not too far off from that. I think you've known about the new earth and the new vibrations and how frequency manifests and dictates just what our destiny is. So
Christy and
that's
I
pretty
started
great.
our relationship January 1st, 2020. And all this stuff was very new to her.
Absolutely.
Because she did the married career woman lifestyle with kids and all that stuff. And
Total 3D. Complete 3D. And it kind of chewed me up and spit me out. And I was like, oh, there must be a better way to fit in, because I never felt like I fit in.
so we've progressed from 12 a how. What comes after 12, kids? Well, you usually would think that the number 13 would be, but that's 40 days. So let's see, today's the beginning of a 40-day period that ends at 13 a how, but also there's a 20-day period in between that, which is 6 a how. That number 6 is usually associated with the death energy.
We'll have a quiz on that later. Carlos explains it well. I still don't understand.
Because there's a cycle of 20 and 13, a remainder of 7. So when you're counting the 20 days, you have that remainder of 7 as you count. Well, the count starts 13, 7, 1, 8, 2, 9, 3, 10, 4, 11, 5, 12, 6, 13. So the time is weaving. The numbers weave like that. It's not
That's cool.
just a straight count.
Yes. Well, and what I like about the Mayan calendar is that it's based on our digits and joints.
DNA.
Our DNA, and so it flows within our body and our natural rhythm. That I understand, and that I believe our listeners understand once they start listening to us.
We're just having a conversation. We invite you to please, if you have questions, is this confusing to you? It's okay, because this is actually a far more natural way of keeping time than the Pope's calendar.
Right.
Gregorian, Pope Gregory.
Or even Julian.
And Julian before that was a Roman calendar. Though Julian was more correct than the Gregorian, but it's just a solar calendar that told you when to pay your taxes. Isn't that nice?
And Julian would be
so thoughtful of you that
so
to
nice
let you know with the
to let
system
you
of
know.
timekeeping when you should pay your slave taxes to be a slave for the state.
Exactly. And people
It's
are
so
paying
nice
their
of them.
slave taxes anyway, even though we have an external revenue service and no longer internal.
And even it doesn't
Even
matter
that.
conservative or liberal. They're both like addicted to like, I'm a good tax-paying American. I pay my taxes because I work hard and I pay taxes, and I'm an American. It's like,
You're just
and the
feeding
liberals are
wars.
like, we need to tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Like, are you richer than me? You get taxed.
Oh, but none for Congress. Congress is exempt. Yeah.
No questioning about where the money
If not
has
for
been
me,
going
then
until
for
now.
thee. Yeah.
So I was going to look at the calendar, regular Pope's calendar here.
Which on the Julian calendar, we'd be getting ready to celebrate New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day,
Maybe
April
switching
1st.
over. So I'm trying to find when is the next 6 how. That will be the April 17th.
Okay.
Well, it's just after a certain day that we're talking about. They even put it on this calendar.
Oh,
Google
it's-
calendar tells you, oh, this is the day you have to pay your tax.
But it's not a federal holiday. You still have to go to work.
You still have to work on the day that you pay your taxes. Isn't that silly?
It's so silly. And then we're finding out what they're doing with that. And that's just pathetic.
And you know what's even more funny is that the money is all fake anyway.
Right.
And I don't have a dollar bill American on me, but at the top of it, pull out your wallet if you're an American, and see what it says on the top of your dollar bill, or $5 or 10, whatever it says. Federal Reserve note.
Note.
What is a note? If you have a note on your car or truck that you just bought, or your house note, something to note, what does that mean? Oh, it means that you owe. You still owe and must pay on that truck. So if you have a $5 bill, you
Just
owe
paper.
$5 to the government. So the more of these notes, you think you're collecting wealth, but you're collecting debt. You're collecting the opposite of wealth. Isn't that funny? How that it just sounds so funny when you think about it and look
And
at
we've
it.
been told
The
that's going
reality-
away, but it hasn't gone away yet.
It's going to go away.
But it will go away.
The IRS is gone, and the
Well, the
Treasury
Galactics aren't going to allow it.
is gone, and they're going to realize that we can do the exact. That's my.
There you go.
I figured this out in the 90s when I was in college. Okay, it's just so ridiculous that everything you do in life, you have to stop and exchange these little pieces of paper or little coins things, and you have to. Why can't we just do exactly as what we're doing without having to stop and pay these little coins or bills or things we're collecting? And the most ridiculous part, it's actually in the actual news now, with thanks to Elon Musk. Thank you, Elon Musk. You're such a nice guy. We really thank you. Bless you. Anyway, he discovered that there are literal computing machines in different departments of the government that are not connected to any real money at all.
In
but
an empty building.
They just print out the checks and send them out. Trillions and trillions of dollars are being sent out in these payments where there's no money behind it. It's all counterfeit. That's called counterfeiting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Our government's
So-
the biggest money launderer.
And counterfeiter.
And
of
maybe
their
global.
laundered-
Yeah, I
They
think
launder
that.
their counterfeit money.
Uh-huh.
And so when the economy collapses, maybe this week or next week, by next week, maybe, it's a fake economy. Bill Hicks said that. Do you remember great comedian Bill Hicks? Told his audiences this economy is fake. He knew, even he was big time in the 90s. It was his heyday. He never got too famous because he was too truthful. And he would say things like, your money is fake, and your economy is fake, and your government is fake. And people were like, that's so silly. It's so real. We believe it.
Yeah, George Carlin
oh,
got
you're funny,
famous
but
and then got
We
truthful.
don't believe you.
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
Play the game, slave.
and they just kept on going to work, drinking their beer.
Oh, that's funny. Isn't that funny
Okay,
what
look,
he said?
6 Ow is coming up on 17th of April. It says, Cartoon 6 Ow is the 10th fold of the cartoon to be counted and read. The cartoon is a longer cycle, 7,200 days. Ushmal seats the cartoon. There's thievery amongst them. Disrespect in speech. Insolence in the face shown to the prophet lordship. These are things to watch out for as the government officials are freaking out and throwing their shit around because they're just monkeys throwing poop.
And the loudest ones are the most corrupt and guilty.
Insolence in the face shown to the prophet lordship. That's what I'm talking about. People hear the truth and they just laugh at it and they don't be disrespectful. The lies of their crazy speech come to cut. Oh, wait. So then God the Father descends to cut their throats.
Ooh.
You're fired. Because of their broken words, so they can be resurrected. It's actually a good thing because they will realize their stupidity of the things they've been doing and be resurrected in the light. This is a purification process. It might not be pretty because, like a surgery, you have to cut out the tumor and the crap that's in there. You know,
And those of us in the light are not supposed to want ill will and
then
hate.
you allow the healing
That's
to
right.
happen. They
A
assemble
disclosure is
for the
good.
judgment of our Father God. They are united, entering as Christians with those who are completed. All those born here all over the world will enter into Christianity. Now, these are people in the Maya lands, they're natives. Why would they be concerned about their whole world? And why would this be a part of their prophecy? There wasn't television back then, there wasn't satellite communications back then.
Or were there?
But they, or were there, maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe their pyramids, they knew that they could zip over to Cambodia or India or Africa or Europe or whenever in their pyramid to communicate through these etheric devices.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know that there was these things in Peru,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely felt the energy of the pyramids and all over the Yucatan.
In Tartaria.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the next 20 days starting today that the lies and crazy people are going to be screaming very, very, very loud and throwing poopy everywhere with their speech.
Don't let it stick
And
on you.
it's lies. Just recognize what a lie. It's not that hard to recognize someone's lying to you. Okay, if someone is lying to you in real life, they're fidgety, they're like looking away, they don't look you in the eye, and they tell you stupid, crazy stuff, and then they get crazy eyes and start yelling at you. And how can you not believe
Their
this?
body language
Body
changes.
language, and they get, it's easy
Get
to tell.
louder and louder. Mm-hmm.
Very easy to tell in life when somebody is lying to you. A little bit more difficult to tell when the media, the trained liars, stare at you straight in the eye and tell you these big fat lies. And they think, oh my God, can you believe that Trump is so bad? And they think, oh, so bad what Elon Musk is doing. And oh my God,
We didn't elect him.
They're dictators and they're going to, turn the world into an AI robot society. It's like, oh, just stop the lies, okay? Recognize when the media on the thing is lying to you. And that's why we said earlier, turn it off today. Turn off the media, because that's all you're going to hear is these lies. And guess what? This is not a freedom of speech issue. All right? There's times when lying to the public is a crime, and it's times when these lies are so grand that they amount to treason. All right? When they talk about, oh, we need to overthrow this government, right? So get your rifle and go try to kill the president. No, I didn't say that. But somebody has said that, and they've been trying. That's called treason. It's not freedom of speech. In that.
And it creates division. That's what so many of the lower level reptilians love.
We can be friends with people that are, TDS.
We had a really, really good discussion yesterday.
Yeah, philosophical, spiritual.
It happens on occasion.
Conversations, and it's great. But, we trigger when we start talking about truth.
Yeah.
As it smacks you in the face. Truth, not these soft little lies that everybody's used to from the media. So turn the media off. Not us. Don't turn us off. Share it with us.
Like, share, comment, and
We're
follow.
just having a conversation through these electronic device things
Yes.
on YouTube. So, but that's different from the lie factory where these people are paid millions of dollars and trained how to tell you lies.
And stay out
terrible.
of the 3D. And
Lies
start
with
thinking
their
about
crazy
your
speech.
Christ consciousness.
It's right here in the prophecy. The cycle comes every 260 days.
Lies
And the
of
same thing
crazy
happens,
speech.
but it crescendos on certain rounds of time. And so just be aware and know.
So we're starting a new 20-day
We
cycle.
love you no matter who you voted for. It doesn't matter anything you're not voted for.
What you're for or against.
It doesn't matter. We just want to have conversations and be friends and hang out. Be cool.
So it is.
We're the cool kids.
So be it.
You could be one of us. Come hang out with the cool kids.
That's right. We go to parties. We become the cool kids. People hang with us. I don't know. I think it's our magnetic
We're not the
personalities.
stiff, uptight
No.
crowd.
No. We blend well. All right, you guys. Anything else? All right,
I
love and light.
would
Ciao,
like to come back
pues. See you tomorrow.